Hope you're both doing well. I just had the lovely pleasure of speaking to Colin, and that man is the most charming person in the world. I mean, the audience love John Sugar. You have to be beguiled by him. You have to trust him. He needs charisma and intelligence, but he also needs to be a bit rough around the edges and be a bit of an enigma. Not many actors can pull all of that off in quite the way that Colin Farrell can. You must have both been so thrilled when he signed on to this project.
Yeah, we were, and we are. And you know, the part as Mark Protosevich had written it was the combination of all those things you described. It was dark and light. It was chivalrous and struggling. It was so many different things. You know, there are very few actors that we've ever had now or in the past who can embody all of those things at the same time. And it is, I wouldn't say easy for Colin, but it is organic and inherent for Colin because it is actually who he is. He is someone in life, as you've experienced, who is incredibly charismatic, incredibly strong, incredibly commanding, and yet at the same time has an innocence, sort of wounded, fragile, very human side to him, as well as we all do. And he is not afraid to have both come out at the same time in the same amount of force on screen. And so I just think his courage as an actor and his curiosity as both a man and an actor was something that made Sugar far more than what was on the page.
I mean, this project is so kind of ingrained in that kind of classic film noir of kind of golden era Hollywood. But I just wondered if you guys can talk a bit about the challenges in giving this such a classic feel, but it feels so contemporary and modern at the same time, and how you were able to kind of balance that together.
Well, I think that was a goal from the very outset of producing the project. And so the challenge is really about the balancing act and making sure that everyone involved is on the same page in doing that. So with Fernando Meirelles coming in and establishing the style and the vibe of the show, and then Adam Arkin also directed 3 episodes and had to follow that and make sure that there was continuity. And, you know, it obviously ripples through our department heads, and you see it in the set design and the wardrobe. So every aspect of the show had to be really deliberate in that regard. So we're straddling the line between how are we feeling like a classic film noir, but making it feel really modern at the same time.
It was interesting because I spoke to my wife about it yesterday, and one of the words that came to mind when I was describing it was it being cinematic. But of course, it's going to be on the TV, which made me think there's no real line now between cinema and TV. When I was a kid, it wasn't that at all. It felt like two separate industries almost. I just wondered what it means to you both as producers and kind of filmmakers to have this blurring of the line between the two formats, and how it opens up a whole world of kind of possibility where you've got opportunities and stories to be told across film and streaming platforms now.
Yeah, it's a really good point. I think you know, when I was growing up, and certainly even when I was coming up in the industry 25 years ago, there was a very clear demarcation between television and features, both in terms of the industry and in terms of actual product, with few exceptions, right? Like HBO had some things that felt cinematic on it 25, 30 years ago, but very few other things felt as though they were taking cinematic storytelling, cinematic production value, movie stars, and bringing them to TV. And now I don't even call it TV anymore because I watch it on my TV, but I watch movies on my TV too. It really, the only difference to me is how long you have to tell a story. So you have 2 to 3 hours to tell a feature, a movie, and you have 6, 8, 10 hours to tell a season of television. And that is like when I think about does something belong on television or does something belong in features, it really does come down to, does this story warrant an 8 to 10 hour exploration, or is it better told in a compressed format of 2 hours? And that is the only criterion now, the only difference really between the two, because God knows as much money is spent on a season of Game of Thrones or, you know, name Stranger Things as on the highest budgeted movie that's going to come out in whatever year. So it's exciting. It's exciting as a writer myself. It's exciting as a producer. It's exciting as an artist to see how fluid all of our different storytelling has become.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for your time today, guys. Best of luck with the release of the series.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey, you guys!
Hey,